Well, welcome back to VP4 TV. We're back here for another match tonight in the VP4 2022 Cowboy World Championships. This time it's a match between Silvia from Germany and Wanwa from Italy, as far as I remember. Let's have a quick double check. The good news is both of them are in the lobby, and that match is about to start at the bottom of the hour. Now let me just do a quick check, and Steve is going to be coming in. We'll just get him in. Good evening to Steve.
Good evening.
Brain Pillout is in the chat. My conqueror from last night.
Yeah, I watched a lot of that match. I didn't see the end. You were up in that match. What happened?
It was shockingly bad. My only excuse is I hit the sleep wall. I had my dinner an hour or so earlier, and then when it gets to about an hour or so after having my dinner, I usually fall asleep. The only problem in this case is it was in the middle of a match, and it went downhill rapidly. But Brain Pillout played a lot more solid and consistent. He's not going to be a world beater at that level, but it was more than good enough to beat me. I had my high run, 65, and that was it. Nothing else to show for it. We've had a couple of results today. We had a match very early this morning. I'd barely fallen out of bed, and VP Monster, or Crazy Cow as he's named himself for this tournament, was playing X Games, and as expected, he won comfortably 3-0 against X Games, so he's through. And then we had MarkShark against Ice Age earlier on tonight, and MarkShark comfortably get through 3-0 as well. Good evening to Bill, who is my next conqueror. So my time in the tournament is going to be short-lived. I'll be out by Sunday night, and then I can get back to concentrate, because I'm missing it in my match on Sunday. I'm missing a stream of a good match while I'm actually playing.
So you're saying that you're a bye? Is that what you're telling me, that you're a bye?
I'm a bye. Yes. I can't hack it in the tournament level anymore. Not that I could in the first place, but I certainly can't. I've accepted that. I don't know how this is going to go.
Didn't you win a world championship once upon a time?
No, I got to a final, and guess who I bumped into in the final? Albinario, in the snooker final. That was my peak, and since then it's been downhill. The room is up. Let's get in, and Silvia's keen to go. Well, if we were going to go by rating, as Wanwa certainly does, then he should be the favourite.
That was almost a bad roll there. Did you see that? Nicked the one ball and almost went in the corner.
Yeah, but she's only practicing.
Oh, I thought we started. Okay, well, then it wouldn't have been that bad a roll, would it?
You're really struggling with this Cowboy game, Steve, so yeah, you're way out your depth.
Well, it's funny with rolls that scratch like that, because, people, I got a bad roll because I scratched and stuff. No, you didn't. You don't know where the cue ball's going. But when it nicks off a ball like that, going 3 rails and goes in the pocket, that's a bad roll.
Oh, yeah, I've done plenty of them. Then all of my rolls are bad rolls. Yeah, so here we go. Silvia on the right of the screen. And Pan the hot favourite to win this. That's the way it is on paper. Silvia never got back to me. She sent me a message this morning when I went for breakfast that she was asking if I was here. And of course, naturally, she never got a response. But that's all I saw in the chat. And then I've not seen her online all day, and she never got in contact with me since. So I don't know what she wanted to ask.
So you think Wanwa is the favourite here?
Oh, he's the favourite for this, yes. But if Silvia applies herself and sticks to the basics of what she should be looking for, then she'll give herself a chance to put pressure on her opponent. So
Okay, what's Wanwa doing? He's taking a long time to shoot this shot.
He's just doing the conventional break that I do. Make sure you get the cue ball into the kitchen. That's a wee bit short to give you a choice. So it's the 5-3. And now, of course, you don't hit this hard. I mean, this is a shallow angle, so it's only ever going to be a thin edge or the straight carom like that. Because if you start stunning down to make that carom, you're going to scratch. Oh, by the way, Steve, Tony Sam is in the lobby. Has he been trying to get a hold of you? I don't think he's the type of player that wants to annoy you with problems.
No, I've talked to him once already.
Yeah.
He's having problems where he just gets booted straight out of VP.
Right. Well, he's got on to me earlier tonight, so I told him. He insisted he's got no antivirus in his PC, so I'm trying to clear that up. It sounded to me that he hadn't done a full update to VP4. I was asking him if he'd rebooted his PC. He said he rebooted it after he uninstalled VP the first time round.
Yeah, I told him to uninstall and reinstall and make sure he wasn't running antivirus when he did it.
Yeah, well, he says he doesn't have any antivirus, so I gave him a link to my video to get him to do a clean install. And
yeah. There's a couple strange things that have come up, like Nahimic, which is a sound software that causes problems like this. If he's got Nahimic, he can always send me the crash report stuff to VP4@Solaris.com. Get the crash report out of the Windows event log.
Yeah, well, I think the reason I'm asking you is because I saw him back in the lobby tonight, so I don't know whether he's actually been able to get in the room. And I'm looking on my phone to see if he sent me any message on Facebook.
Let me see. I didn't check support yet today.
He hasn't sent anything back to say everything's fixed or nothing, so I don't know what's going on.
Well, it says he arrived at, Tony Sam arrived at, about 10 minutes ago. But I don't see him in the lobby, so...
Oh, he's probably left again. He's probably back to square one.
Probably still having trouble.
I had a problem today. I downloaded on XSplit. They've got various affiliates, and one of them's this company that's doing a thing called Remotely. That's the name of the program. It's just called Remotely, REMOTLY, and it allows you to access your PC from your Android phone. So I thought I'll test it because it's in beta phase. I'll download it and test it. Installed it on the phone, got it linked up to the PC. It allows you to actually configure a mini keyboard on your phone. And configure the buttons and allocate the buttons. So I was actually in a room in VP4 online, and I was actually able to move the cue ball and shoot a ball from my phone. It's a bit fiddly. You have to have patience to set up all the controls and everything. But that was by the by. When I decided to quit it and came out of it and shut it down on my phone, I lost all the audio in VP4. And I rebooted the PC and came back in, and the audio was still dead in VP4. So what the next thing I did, get rid of the bloody program off the phone and the PC, and everything's fine.
No more remotely.
Yeah. It's just a bit like TeamViewer, allows you to access your PC from your phone, but it causes problems. It causes side issues with audio in VP4, so that's it. Done and dusted, tested, binned, and never to be seen again. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I've been watching enough Cowboy. I'm starting in the hang of it. This first phase is actually the easy phase, where you could really run a lot of balls. Mm-hmm. The carom phase is more difficult, and at first I thought it was more difficult just for carom because it's caroms, but what I started seeing was things like because you can't make a ball as soon as the ball gets hung in a pocket, you have one less ball you can play to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started thinking, well, if you're behind, a good strategy is to just shove balls right into the pocket.
Yeah, well, that's exactly. Yeah, but the thing is, Steve, we'll get to a stage in this tournament where that sort of strategy comes into it. The problem is that whenever, say, you're on the caroms and you're on 92 and a ball ends up hanging over a pocket, that ball hanging over the pocket's no good to you in terms of being productive and making caroms. It's one less ball that you can work with. However, it's crazy for you just to go and pot it. And the reason for that is that you're probably giving your opponent an easy incoming shot, and the chances are, depending where the scoreboard is, the chances are you could end up right on your tail. There's a tactical time when you can pot a ball that's over a pocket and when not to. So, for example, if you have a ball over a pocket and you're behind, then if you're chasing him and he's into the caroms, then the one thing, it's a vicious circle. You have to be scoring points to try and catch him, but you have to also keep that ball over the pocket to prevent him actively scoring. You don't want to give him a free chance at getting out. It's a fine line between success and failure doing it. Sometimes it's worked for me, sometimes it hasn't.
Last night, you got to do it at the right times. Like if you have a shot where if you have a shot where you're 99% or better on, you're going to shoot it. If you have a shot where you're like 60 or 70% on, you might just want to try to hang a ball up, because shooting and missing and putting him at the table with 3 balls in play isn't good. So it's kind of like playing safe. Like if you're playing 9-ball, it's a running out or playing safe. When should I play safe? Well, the time to play safe is where you get on a shot and it's just not a good shot, and the safety's there. You play safe. I see the same sort of thing where if you can keep running balls, do it. But if you get in a dicey situation, you're better off just shoving something over by the pocket.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to Bedhead. I never even noticed him there. He's probably been and gone.
He said hello, Bedhead. I'd like to see Silvia play well. I root for Silvia because, she's passionate about pool, not just VP, but she plays pool in real life. And,
well, I hope she's been...
she likes to play more than one game.
I hope she's been listening to my advice.
As I say that, I curse her. Oh, no, she was on the caroms. Okay, never mind. I thought she was shooting a ball.
You see, she's potting the 5 and going up table. She's leaving herself awkward here. What she should have done is just cut the 1 in and get the 1 onto the spot, and then she'd get the 1 and 3 adjacent. You see, she's left herself in trouble here by potting the wrong ball.
This is funny. I mean, I like this shot here, though. That's the shot I would have shot. I thought that was the easiest one.
That
was nice.
But I would have still potted the 1 and got myself out into the table. Yeah, I heard her saying that she'd done an injury to herself. She couldn't have done that in the pool hall. And now she's in trouble again here. Oh no, it's an open table. It's wanwa that's at the table. What happened to end her visit there? I missed that. I was reading the chat.
She missed the ball.
Right, so one was 20 odd in front, 21 in front. And should have a few more here. If you can see the 1, probably knock the 3 in at the same time. That's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't quite get why you hit it like that.
Right, you see, what I tend to do when there's 2 balls together and you're trying to, you're making an easy carom, but you're splitting the 2 balls, I always tend to want to kill the cue ball. I don't want to let the cue ball running loose off those 2 balls. So you play it like a stun kill shot to let those balls run, but not the cue ball run.
Well, he didn't even have to stun that to hit the ball. I mean, I think if he hit it thick enough, it just, didn't baby it, it was going to hit the other ball. I just, I don't like that kind of play where balls are flying all over because it's not predictable how you're going to end up. That's how you end your run.
Yeah, I did far too much of that last night as well.
Oh, yeah. You looked like stub a couple times.
Yeah. Where's this cue ball going? I think it's okay. So one was building up a healthy little lead here. And
it's okay, but it's not optimal.
Well,
I mean,
what we're looking for here is when Silvia gets back to the table, we're looking something that would suggest that she can do some damage in this match.
Pretty good. Yeah.
She needs a contribution, and if she gets like a 20 odd or 30 odd, then you know that there's potential there to build on that. But if it's one of these nights where all it is bits and pieces, 7, 8, 10, 12, 7, 8, 10, 12, and nothing more, then it's going to be a long night. So there's the mistake made by Wanwa. It's only 14, and Silvia has a good enough setup to get started here, to get off and running.
Well, we're certainly seeing more missed balls on this 10-footer than we would on the 9-footer.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys been struggling, just simply because it's a totally alien environment. They haven't been anywhere near the 10-foot table. Looked at it once maybe, and it scared them off.
Did anybody try my field of view trick?
I can't remember what you were talking about. Was that there?
That when you go to the 10-footer, you raise your field of view.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. Yeah, no, I haven't. I've never changed. Well, I did. I changed earlier on to 40, but I didn't like it, so I went back to 30 for the streaming side of things. It just makes the table too long, or it looks too long. Well, now again, I'm putting myself in Silvia's shoes, and I'm looking at the table from the position I'm in. I'm on a pot, so I'm looking for a carom, so I want to stop the cue ball more or less there. She's going top side. She didn't need to go top side. She could have stayed bottom side of that 3 ball.
This is an easy carom, the 3-1.
Yeah, well, you say that, boy. Steve. You say that. That's why the bottom side to me was easier.
But here's the thing: a shot like that, okay, that this is just like playing position in pool. When you've got a line and you need to be on one side of it, and you have 2 feet on that side of it, there's really not a whole lot of reason to end up on the wrong side of it. And that shot kind of reminded me of that, because you couldn't hit that too thin. It was going to be very hard to hit it too thin, but it was easy to hit it too thick. So when you get in that situation, you try to hit on the thin side. Well,
you see, I'm looking at it from the perspective of where the cue ball was. Cue ball was sort of there, shall we say, and that was the object ball. And this is where the ball was spotting. Now, to me, the simple shot was to pot that ball in there, maybe a little bit of check on the cue ball to stay bottom side, and then all you're doing is running into that ball and going straight across the carom.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but
she may well have overhit it. She may have overhit it, though.
Bedhead. The position was fine, but she didn't err to she didn't err to the side of the line where she had a wide margin for error.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's all about giving yourself the optimum margin of error to make it as open as you can. Sometimes you got to get them feather light thin to actually make the carom, and that's where you're bound to end up in trouble. But what it does mean, though,
thin hits are always more difficult to get online. Just the geometry of them, you have to be more accurate. But here's the thing: is if you look at the shot and you go, okay, outside of completely missing the ball, if I hit this thing super thin and I'm still going to hit, the right side of the ball, then, you know all you have to do is hit it thin because you've got a whole ball to come across. So, in those situations, you should be aiming, you know, not not like where you could miss it, but you should be aiming as thin as you can because it doesn't take much when you're thin on a ball to get off on the wrong line.
Yeah.
That's the geometrically that's the situation where um, the target's smaller. It's just like when you're cutting a ball in pool. If you've got a shot that you have to cut at an angle that's very steep, the accuracy required on that is much more than if you have a ball that's pretty straight in. It's just geometry, and it applies the same thing for billiards, which is why if you watch uh, good billiard players play billiards, you won't see them play a lot of thin shots. They kind of stay away from those because it's harder to get the ball online. When, especially a ball across the table, they're looking at taking, quarter ball or more if they're shooting across the table because it's just too hard to get the ball online if you're taking a thin cut at it.
Yeah. So Silvia has a chance again here to get rid of this deficit. Now, it wouldn't do any harm to just finish over on the left-hand side if it was somewhere adjacent to the one. She's trying to come up table. This is going to go down the pan, and that's the 12 points gone.
Oh, that's too bad. She had two chances to hit balls there. She's on the line for both of them. Unfortunately, they were kind of both on the same line. When you got two balls that are a little offset and it makes, the hit huge.
Well, Wanwa is coming to the table thinking he's got a good chance of getting to 90 here and really applying the pressure to Silvia. So again, a gentle little force follow. You don't want the three ball to leak away anywhere. As long as it comes back up the table into the potting line, then you can get it on the spot. You can come across the table for the 1-3.
That's one shot that you're playing there, that follow shot. That shot is easier on VP than it is in real life.
Oh, it's made much easier in VP.
And I'll tell you why. Because in real life, a couple things come into play. One is that it's easy to turn the cue ball. And how the cue ball gets turned is when you're up on top of that, if you hit a little left or a little right, and, you've got maybe a little more butt angle in real life, the cue ball will turn, which then makes it harder to follow on line. But the other thing that makes it tricky is VP has a very level straight through stroke. In real life, most players have a tendency to let the tip go down through the ball. And when I say most players, I'm not talking about good players. I'm talking about, most amateurs. Good players try to work the tip level or up. It's very common in good players to see them work the tip up through the ball. And the reason why is they don't want the tip pressing down. And I'm not talking about just when you're hitting top spin shots. I'm talking about really any time. Most good players try to work the tip up. And with a top spin shot, it's really important to do that to prevent the ball from turning.
Yeah, look at this setup. Silvia's got herself in here. One ball does pot.
Yeah,
that's better.
A good place. And this is just another one of those hit it thin. You cannot, other than missing the ball, you can't hit it too thin.
Yeah, but when you're hitting it thin, you don't want to kill the 5 ball to the rail. It's still off the rail, and it's actually a good angle to pot the 5, get over to get down below the 1 if you can. That's what I say. Get down below the 1 and give yourself at least a couple of options. She's gone square, and she's almost overcut it. But
Yeah.
that might still work, but it's now difficult.
Yeah, I mean, if she would have held the cue ball with a little English and been, before another diamond shorter of that, it would have been a lot easier.
Now, you see, that shot, because it was a shallower angle, she wasn't heading directly into the one, so the stun did all the work to get to the one, but most of the time, if you're at a higher angle on that cut shot to the one, you're going to scratch, because you have to then hit it a wee bit further to make the line stay to the one ball, and you end up scratching.
Wouldn't you just shoot the one ball here? She's looking down table. I'd be like saying, well, this one ball's a duck. I'm shooting that.
And I'm staying below it, so I've got the 1 to the 5 or the 5 to the 3. See, with the thing is, again, I keep talking about the same thing. She's now gave herself one option here, and that's to get to the 1. Now, she can do it with a force follower. She can go at the side rail and kick into it.
Oh, it's a lot bigger ball from the side rail.
Yeah. You go side rail and kick it
from the side rail
because it's a big target
behind it. Yep. Yeah, I mean that's a huge target from the side rail. See, that's not a good. That's a pool player shot right there.
Yeah,
I mean that's like that's a pull shot right there. She's trying, and that was not the right shot. She should have come off that 5 ball, gone to the rail, and then you've got a huge ball.
Well, I'm very much of the opinion that. And this is why I keep repeating the same thing in this game. I'm very much of the opinion that if you're not great at potting, and you're not familiar with the 10-footer, then in Cowboy you have to give yourself the best. Try and give yourself the best options each time. And I still think it's a very good rule to apply the rule that I'm talking about, and that's the line there across those 2 diamonds and the line there across those 2 diamonds, because whenever the ball's spotted and it's spotted there and the ball is in or adjacent there, you've got to give yourself options up and down the table, and that's probably not a bad idea. I mean, okay, the ball's get out of shape, but if you're getting into sort of shape, then you have to then think about that best option is a cue ball down and above either end of the table.
That's a good general rule. I mean, you can't always.
It's not always. It's not always going to be the case, but it's a good general rule to follow. Because if you're ever in doubt, you've got to think, well, if I finish, even if I'm in an ugly spot, but if I pot this ball and I can get myself to the bottom end of the table, I'm looking up at 3 balls and I've got 2 options from the first ball to the other 2 balls. It's not a bad rule to keep in mind for yourself, I think, with this game, especially if you're not used to Cowboy in general. If you apply one sort of general little rule and you live by it, then you might find that you become a wee bit more successful.
If I was going to make a rule, I'd make a couple boxes down there. I wouldn't want to be too straight onto that line, because that follow shot, I don't particularly like that. And I'll tell you why I don't like it. I'm not saying that it's not an easy shot in certain situations, but if you're going to play to get on that follow shot, the area you have to get in is pretty small.
It's
and
pretty
if you don't
small.
get in that area, then all of a sudden it becomes a lot more difficult. Whereas if you're playing for the, take a piece of the ball and roll into the 5 ball, there's a big, huge area that you can be and still have a reasonable shot.
Yeah. That's the sort of rule to follow. The thing is that the chances are you're never going to fall into a good line for the force follow shot. Anyway, the chances are you'll be too straight on it.
I think if you have an obvious thing where I can just stop this and it's going to be a real good spot, fine. And then, just like a game like straight pool is sometimes you roll up on a ball or roll up in a situation where it's really good and you take it. But I just wouldn't play position for that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
unless it was trivial.
Well, while we've been talking, Silvia suddenly found herself in front here. She had a run of 21 there. One was at the table. Under a wee bit more pressure.
Well, and Wanwa is sitting pretty good here, except the fact that he's right on the rail. Let's see what angle he's got. Yeah, he was still okay. Still could hit enough of the ball. That's the thing is, if you can just hit the ball and roll it and just get the line by taking a piece of one ball and you're not doing anything to cue ball, there's no stun or whatever, that's going to be the most consistent shot.
Yeah, the other rule that there's this cue ball
Watch
going.
out.
There's a cue ball going with there. Silvia's got an invitation to the party here. The one golden rule that's probably not the same in billiards, but the general rule is the less you make that cue ball move, the more likely you are to succeed. And in Cowboy, when you start running the cue ball, and I'm the worst person to actually give that advice, but when you start running the cue ball unnecessarily, you're asking for trouble. There's been umpteen scratches today with the cue ball running loose. And like any game of pool, if you've got the cue ball in control and you're in line, then the cue ball's travelling the minimum amount of distance and it's on line and it ain't going to scratch. In Cowboy, there's other factors come into it, but I think loose play is going to catch you out in Cowboy every time.
It's a good heuristic. I mean, I think there are situations, in general in billiards, I would think in most billiard games, maybe not three cushion, but most other billiard games, short distances are really good because if you've got the object balls close together,
yeah,
then, you can nurse them around and, you can control the cue ball well. Everything's, nice and tight. Three cushion's a little different because you're going to have to move the cue ball.
Yeah,
more in that
they
game.
like that space to manoeuvre in three cushion. You like to see the angle around the table to depend on laying the balls. But
here's the thing: is that heuristic is it's not. I say it's a heuristic because it's not 100%.
No,
and it's really not even close to it because I can remember I'm at a tournament and somebody says to me, they're watching me play and they're like, "Man, you sure like to whip the ball around the table and stuff," and and I do a lot of times, and the reason why is that there's a lot of shots that are just easier letting the cue ball run. But the critical thing is when you're going to let the cue ball run is you have to understand those lines.
It's running in
There's
the right
nothing
line.
wrong with going 3, 4, or 5 cushions, but you have to understand the lines the cue ball is going to run on. Mm-hmm. If you're hitting it a bunch of rails and you don't understand where it's going, well, because there's pockets on the table in a game like this, you're going to get yourself in trouble. So I think there's certain situations where going extra rails is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
But you have to understand the line the cue ball's running on.
Yeah, there's a number of players I've seen already who are reluctant to use the rails, whereas I'm the opposite. I pay the price for that. I like to use the rails if it's a bailout. Generally, it's a bailout shot I'm playing on the rails. Well, everybody wants to keep it simple in Cowboy, but I'll bail out most of the time.
You watch a pro pool and you watch especially all these matchroom events and stuff, and they're playing on newer tables, newer cloth, and a lot of times the tables are pretty fast, especially the TV tables, the lights over them. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you this: if you get on a fast table and you're not willing to start letting the cue ball run, you're going to get in real trouble because when you get on a fast table, you're going to get shots where you've got to let the cue ball run. Mm-hmm. Because it's too hard to control the speed otherwise, you can't just dink the ball. You may have to go up and down the table or go, you might have to go back and forth, side to side, 3 or 4 rails sometimes.
Yeah. Just
because, you get a thinner shot on it and stuff. You just, the table's fast. You can't control the speed without going more rails. And, VP, you can get away with a little more because the little dink stroke is a lot more accurate than real life. In real life, trying to hit the ball super easy is hard.
Well, one was taking risk here. Run is 21. He could go short rail into behind the one ball here.
Well, he seems to be real unhappy. He keeps waggling his cue back and forth.
You see, well, he's got lucky there. He's got lucky that three brushed. I mean, that to me, the easier shot was to go short rail into behind the one.
That was pretty. That was pretty lucky right there. Stubb would be going nuts if he was playing in this match and that happened to him. Did Stubb get in this tournament?
No, he's staying well clear. He's had his fingers burned.
Well, you know, I mean, I think
he was in
on
the
one
last
hand,
one.
I can understand him not wanting to play in this tournament, but on the other hand, you know, playing Cowboy could make him a lot better.
Well,
because any knowledge you can gain, and you know, the billiards part of this is gonna help. It's gonna help you understand the line the cue ball runs on, and you know.
Well, I think from the point of view that Stubb, I mean, okay, you talk about. I mean, I think Stubb's a pretty good kicker of the ball in terms of picking angles to get to the ball. Okay, he might not kick it safe a lot of times, but I think that would help him a great deal in Cowboy. I mean, he can pop balls, and I think he can find a line for a carom. I just don't think he fancied the challenge. A bit like Spectre Dawn decided that it's not for them.
Yeah.
Good afternoon to Interchange X.
Interchange X is here. Happy early Turkey Day. Yeah, tomorrow is Turkey Day.
Yeah. I mean, they have turkey over here at Christmas, but I would never have turkey. I think anything that's so bland that you have to drown it in various sauces to make it appetizing, then it's not.
Oh no, you can make wonderful turkeys. Like one of my favorite ones is you inject Cajun spices into it. Well, there's a lot of stuff you can do with turkey.
Well, that's like trying to revive the dead, giving it injections. I mean, it's so bland a meat that you have to literally fill it full of all other sorts of stuff to actually get anything out of it.
Oh. No, it's you know, there's a lot of food like that. It's just, you know, it's like chicken. Okay? Yeah. You eat chicken, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, turkey's no blander than chicken is.
No, I think chicken thighs
it's got more flavor.
Chicken thighs are more flavoursome than chicken breast.
Yeah, same thing with turkey. The dark meat's more flavorful.
It tends to be dry.
Yeah, I agree. Interchange.
What are you talking about? Bland food.
Yeah, you guys have two kinds of food. You have bland food, and then you have nasty food, like what's that? Your famous dish there with the sheep stomach?
Yeah, haggis.
Yeah, haggis. Yeah,
all wholesome food.
So well, you know, I know that it's done worldwide and stuff, but you know, me personally, I'm not huge on eating organs.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I haven't done it, but you know, I'd rather leave the liver, the kidneys, the tongues, the brains to somebody else.
You'll still get out a turkey and eat it, won't you? I mean, this comes from being frugal, being not wasting anything. You know, all the stuff that you normally find lying on a butcher's floor. What the Scots thought is, well, that's a bit too much to waste. So what we did is we brushed it all up, put it into a bucket, and gave it to somebody and said, look, try and make something out of that. We're not throwing that in the bin. And they come up with haggis.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't grow up in a family that was wealthy. We were pretty poor. I mean, I've eaten lots of cow tongue and livers and kidneys and stuff like that when I was a kid.
Well,
but we still couldn't come up with something as nasty as haggis. I mean, that's just.
Oh dear.
You know, I will say that your food is probably better than Filipino food. I'm not a huge fan of Filipino food.
Well,
but they're kind of like, you know, they eat everything, you know.
Again, you know, they're living in tight budgets, those people as well, generally.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, it was like when the Chinese Revolution kicked in, and there was famine and everything. That's why the Chinese in certain regions, you know, you can get crickets in a stick. They ate anything. You know, any bugs and everything was cooked. And I mean, these are all full of nourishment, all of these beasts and bugs. And you think, well, why are these people
have a lot of nourishment in them?
Yeah, why are these people? We turn our nose up at the thought of eating crickets. I bet they taste bloody good. I mean, if I was in China, I would not turn my nose up at eating something like that in a stick.
I'll let you try it and let me know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I've ate mealworms, not when they're crawling about, when they're actually been cooked. And I mean, all they are is crunchy. They're not any particular flavour in them, but it's the overall goodness that you get from them. But never disparage anybody else's food until you've tried it. You know, you might say.
I've tried it. I've tried plenty of Scottish food.
Yeah, well, most
Although
of it
I
is
will
disgusting.
admit I haven't tried haggis because I couldn't get myself to stomach it. That was a pun.
Yeah, well, you know, haggis. I mean, haggis is something that has to be taken in short. You know, you take it in short measure. You don't have a great big plate of haggis, you would never shift it. It's too mealy.
Yeah, well, you know, if you wanna start trying food, I'll send you a 100-year-old egg, and you can try that and see how you like that. Or maybe I'll send you a balut. That would be even better. I'll send you a balut and see how you like that.
Now, what's happening here? One was still stuck in 92, and
One was kind of thrashing around, and Silvia is about.
He's doing what me and Tam call, this is the faffing stage, where you're faffing around here trying to get a carom, and it goes on for an hour. He's backward and forward. Right, you know, 10 minutes ago I'd have played the 3-reeler from the 5-ball up table, the 3-ball up table down to the 1.
I would have probably shot the 3 and ran the cue ball at the 1. It's a pretty big target.
Well, now...
So he's just trying to not give her the 1 ball, which is a stupid idea because this is not that hard a bank.
Well, the other problem is that the 5 balls...
the 5 by the pocket, yeah.
Yeah, the 5's in the pocket, so he's cut down his chances of actually putting some caroms together.
That's a terrible shot because he just gave her an easy carom. He made the table harder for her. Of course, she just moved the 5-ball over even again.
Now, you see, this is an interesting point, Steve, because this happens a lot in Cowboy at this stage in the game. Now that 5-ball's dead in the water, I mean, it's going nowhere. It's not coming out of the pocket. Nobody's going to try and get it out of the pocket. So there has to be a time when you can safely get rid of that 5-ball. Now,
yeah, but I'll tell you where this is a really good strategy for somebody. If you're really good at billiards, and your opponent is not as good as you, it's an advantage to you to have that 5-ball there. Because when you've only got the 2 balls, the person that's better at billiards is going to have a big advantage.
Their favorite, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's actually a pretty good strategy if you're better at the billiards, is to put a ball in front of the pocket.
Well, there's another way of doing it. The Cowboy way of doing it is working this 3-ball down the table to the left-hand side. And then the other strategy is when you've got the balls down there in the kitchen, the next strategy would be to deliberately pot the 5 and scratch with the 5 so that you give your opponent ball in hand. Now, if you give them...
I'm seeing some strange shots out of wanwa. What was that?
Well, I think he's got himself confused with the 5-ball by there and not, you know, I know what my strategy would be. My strategy would be to try and manoeuvre all the balls into the kitchen and get rid of that 5 and scratch so that at least you're not leaving a dead set easy carom for your opponent. But Silvia is now right on his tail here, 92 all. But
yeah, that's side pocket's an inconvenient spot as far as playing off the 3. She's going to play off the 1, which I would think you would want to go 2 rails to the right, not on that side. That's the thin side. That's the hard side. I would have gone the other side because you could hit it thicker, but she hit it perfect.
Now one was under a bit of pressure, and now he's thinking, and it was all down to him really that he ended up putting that 5-ball near the pocket. Now he's regretting it because now he's the one that's chasing, or at least he is for the time being.
Boy, I don't like this shot.
This is dangerous.
This is tough, hitting it this thing and getting the line right.
Oh well, at least we don't have another match tonight because RedbaK has forfeited to Dwight. So
I wonder why.
I don't know why. The one thing I never saw is I never saw him in Discord. He's usually in Discord, and he hasn't been in there all day.
Made him up with him where he couldn't play.
So
now that's a tough. That's just another terrible shot.
Unless
that's
he's going to end up in the hole. Oh well, it's safe.
But, well, he got lucky. That was a terrible shot.
That is really safe. Now, is Silvia? I mean, this is a big risk, but if she's
to roll up on the 5 ball,
yeah, roll up and try and just leave the cue ball in the corner, fairly tight, and make it that it's not particularly easy to get a carom out of this, and it isn't.
Yeah, that's not a bad shot. I mean, one pocket player would have put you right on the angle there, would have angled you on the cushion. It's amazing. I play Warren Kamko, and twice I've got balls in the pocket. Not only does he knock them out, but leaves me pinned on the rail. And I'm like, nobody could be that good where you knock the ball out and leave me pinned on the rail twice in a row. Needless to say, I lost that match.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he plays better than me. I mean, he's, a champion many times over, but it's kind of disheartening when people are that good and they can do that to you.
Well, Silvia's got to be thinking positive, good thoughts here because she's right in this match.
Oh boy, that was a pretty easy hit. She gave that one up.
No, that was that was Wanwa that's done that. Silvia's at the table.
Oh, it was Wanwa. Okay, it was because again it was not thin enough.
See, this is going too thin off this 5 ball. She's got to try and hit it direct. Yeah, just caught it.
Good shot.
Well, if it's coming, is she trying to force follow off that 5? This is heading towards the pocket, this 5, not? Yeah. Oh, well, that's dead in the water now again.
You got to know the line the ball's running on. She hit the 5 ball right at the 1. Well, anything could happen on this crazy shot here. He's going to try to go. This is going to be very difficult to hit from there. Yeah, he hit it pretty good.
Now, I know what I'd be doing again.
The side pocket was in the way. The other side of it was no good.
You've got to take the risk and pot this 5 ball again and leave the cue ball in the pocket.
Yeah, this is a bad angle to do it, though. It's hard to leave the cue ball in the pocket because you don't have enough of the 5.
Well, she's trying to go 2-3 rails to the 3 ball.
I think that was a good shot to shoot at. She didn't hit it very good, but I think it was a good shot to shoot at.
Now again, if Wanwa just cuts the 1, I don't know whether he can get it thin enough now that I'm looking at it.
This is where like a 3 cushion player has a huge advantage, trying to go from the 1 to the 3 because
it's a big target.
You got to decide whether you're going to go to the long rail or go directly to it like this. And that's well done.
Yeah. The only thing is
that's where, if you play good 3 cushion, I mean, that kind of shot I would think is not that difficult.
Right. I've just had a message from Tony Sam. He said, "Okay, thank you, doing it now." But that's just come through on my phone, and it's come through half an hour later. Anyway. So he's following my instruction to see if he can get it working. Doing a clean install. So we're tied 94 all.
I know he had this working before, right?
Oh, he's had it working before, but he hasn't been around for a while, and you
got to look at, okay, well, so what's changed? So if you're getting a VP4 update, obviously that could have changed. But what else has changed on your system? What have you installed? What utilities are running?
I mean, it's amazing. The thing I was talking about today. I mean, it killed the audio in VP4.
was close.
I went to YouTube. YouTube was fine. I could hear all the audio on YouTube. It simply wouldn't. The audio simply died. VP4. Now I knew fine well what had caused it because I was the one that just installed the program. So
you got to be a little careful here. Well, that was
Oh
terrible.
dear.
Oh, that was terrible.
No.
That wasn't even close to the line. What I was saying, you need to be careful of is that to get that hit from the 3 to the 1 ball, you might bank the 3 in. I was looking at going directly from the 3 to the 1.
Well, here's a situation where the 5 ball being in the pocket in this situation is maybe given Silvia a slight lifeline, but
that was well played there because he set up his next shot. I mean, that's another thing is that you ought to be able to nurse these balls and try to set up the next shot. Try to figure out how can I set up the next shot.
No, he wanted to skim past that. He wanted to hit that thin edge. He's hit it thick and pushed it away.
Now it's getting more difficult.
Yeah.
But you can cut this 3 and it's going to come back up towards the center of the table and then bump the 1. I mean, having those 2 balls close together is going to make things easier as far as these kind of trivial hits.
Well, he can cut the 3 up table, go to the rail by the side pocket, come back out to the 1. I don't see that not being a shot. Good evening to
that shot's pretty easy.
Good evening to Albie.
Hey, Albin is here. Albin is playing in this, right?
Yeah, and
that wasn't very well hit.
Well, see now. That 5 ball I was saying there, the 5 ball being in the pocket as it is was a slight lifeline for Silvia, meaning that it was going to be difficult for wanwa to run out.
This is an easy hit here.
She not got there either.
She didn't get it. Boy, that was not a hard hit. I think if she put a little more speed on it, she would have got it. The cue ball would have extended out down the long rail further. I mean, a lot of times, that was just speed, ball speed. The line and how much she took was fine if she hit it harder.
This looks good, as long as it doesn't cut across it. Oh. It's cut across it and missed it.
Yeah. Well, this is a little risky trying to come off the 1. I think she's going
to go right side of the 1 and straight into the corners there and around the angles.
This is risky too because you can make the 5 ball doing this.
It's going to go right behind it, I bet you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she had on a pretty good line, just didn't get the 1.
Yeah.
The speed was pretty good too, or maybe if she hit the 1, she wouldn't make the 5.
No.
He's going to do the follow. And I'd always play off the 1 ball here just because it takes the 5 ball out of play. Because you got your choice here. I would never play off this 3 ball.
And he's going inside. Oh, that's unlucky.
Well, you had it in a good line, but I missed it on the way in, and English is going to open it up on the way out.
Well, there's a 3-point lead here now. Silvia has either got to stick with this game plan or at some point try and get that 5 ball on its spot. It's a big risk, but sometimes you have to take that risk to give yourself that 1 chance that you might get to run out. But there's a right time and a wrong time to make that move. That's the thing.
Well, that wasn't the move.
Well, at least it's ball in hand in the kitchen, and one was going to have to maneuver the cue ball.
I mean, the problem with the shot she just played there is that she was going to have to come really close to that side pocket to get the hit. And, it's just, you don't want to be running lines where you're hitting right next to the pocket. I mean, the same thing goes for pull too. I'm not saying I never do that, but I do it when I'm confident I can run the ball on that line.
Now it's getting critical here. Now, certainly the right edge of the 1 ball is good for getting the line down to the 3 ball, but there's a big gap behind the 3 ball.
No, I'd go to the end rail here every time. I wouldn't go directly to it.
Yeah, it's going around the angles.
Well,
now, what do you do, Silvia?
she's looking like she's going to make the 5 ball.
Well, I think you've got to. It's again, leaving the cue ball there and potting the 5. I don't think it's a wise move, because it's given wanwa a 1 to the 5 or up to the 3 shot. I don't think this is the right idea, but that's not as bad an idea.
Yeah, she's got the 5 and the 3 in line, and
but you can still go
follow shot's not guaranteed.
Side rail into the 3. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, and I think that's the right shot, is to go side rail.
Now, if he misses this, Silvia should be ready to pounce.
It's not a guaranteed carom either.
And this is a situation where you have to, she had to take that risk of getting the 5 ball out to give herself a chance. And Wanwa's still got to deliver the shot here, so he knows that if he doesn't get this carom, that he could be leaving something on here for Silvia to eat into this.
He's got the option of playing off this 1 ball too. I mean, he could play off the 1 ball and try to hit the 3. I mean, the 3 balls.
It looks as if he's
fairly big ball.
This is dangerous because he's starting to maneuver balls,
crazy.
And of course, disaster happens. Look at the setup he's left Silvia here.
That was a crazy shot. I don't know what he was thinking there.
Well, he was doing the old VP4 escape route. He was playing the old draw to the ball, rather than taking the sort of natural line that we could see was there from that 5 ball to the 3 ball off the long rail on the right. I mean, that was a shot to play if you're brave enough. A lot of players aren't.
Going to stun off of this 5 ball into the 3.
Well, you see, this is where you have to get a ball up and down the table and back into play
watch
here.
Out. Oh, boy. And she missed. Missed. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's a big miss.
And so she gives Wanwa a gift. I mean, that's just a gift. That's brutal.
Yeah, that's how tough it gets if you can't execute the shot. This isn't great, but
no, it's not.
Now, can he go the 2 rails? Yeah, he can go the 2 rails off. He's playing the old.
He's going to do another crazy draw shot,
which is what you're talking about. It's the old cinch shot. I would have probably done it as well, but most of the times I would have done the 2 rails. I would have went off the ball to the rail and kicked into the 3.
He didn't leave an easy shot here, and she's close enough that she could end up winning. This is not the easiest shot to scratch on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough to try to scratch hitting it thin like that. It might have been a little easier down the corner. It did go by the 5, although the 5 blocked part of the pocket.
Now, you see, Silvia is going all out for the carom here, and this
is a pretty easy carom. 3 balls gigantic.
Yeah. However, this is the other strategy in Cowboy. If you've got a couple of caroms and the next one looks dodgy, then what you've got to do is try and protect this 1 ball. Try and make it as awkward as you can.
Oh, no. That was the wrong way to play that. She almost pocketed the 3 and could have pocketed the 5. What she should have done is gone thin and gone to the end rail of the cue ball and back out to the 5, because then you can't pocket it. Now, on the plus side, look what she's left Wanwa.
No, Silvia's at the table.
No, Wanwa's at the table.
No, Silvia's at the table on my screen.
Why my screen look wrong?
Are we out of sync here? Let me just leave the room.
Well, I'm out of sync. Somebody's out of sync.
Let me come back in.
Me, one of us is out of sync.
One was at the table now, and Silvia's got him hooked on the 1.
Yeah,
that's what I was. That's what I was getting at. This is where you have to protect the 1 ball. You have to make it awkward for Wanwa to get out and just try and nip away at those caroms.
This is pretty awkward here.
Yeah, and what's more is Wanwa can't.
Is it a foul if you don't hit the 1 ball?
Yes, but the other thing as well, Steve, is the chances are that Silvia is going to have a reasonably good carom here to start her off.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to. What is he doing? Well, this will be an interesting shot. I think he's just trying for table position. He knows he's giving up ball in hand.
No, 3 foul is automatically on in Cowboy interchange
Well,
X.
you know, that wasn't a bad play there because now he's taking a ball out of play for her. And,
well,
you know, that wasn't a bad play.
Well, Silvia has a problem here, and I'll tell you what it is. You know, she's thinking on her feet there because that was a shot to play. I was about to say it. You know, get that cue ball in the hole. And Wanwa can't legally play the one ball. He's trying to get the one ball out the kitchen, but he's going to make the foul, obviously. I mean, I presume he's played the game often enough and long enough to know that you can't play from in the kitchen.
I think he's going to try to hang this in the pocket.
I think that's his idea, yeah. Silvia's on 1 foul. And again...
Well, Juan was on 2 fouls now, right? Juan was on 2 fouls.
Yeah, but now Silvia has to do something with the one ball, though. You know, that... and now she's got to be really careful. She can try and send it around and down towards the 5 over the pocket. It's dangerous, though. And she's hit it too hard. Way too hard. And now she's hoping this sticks to the rail.
Yeah, this is certainly not that hard to put the cue ball in the corner pocket here.
Yeah, it's just a thin feather edge. Sometimes players
go... No, I'm thinking of going forward.
Some go force follow forward down the rail.
That's a hard way to do it. Yeah. It's a common one pocket shot to bank the ball and then let the cue ball run down the rail.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, at that angle he had, banking the ball towards the other corner wasn't going to give you the right angle. But in this game, you can pick whatever angle you want.
Oh no! Now it's big risk time.
Well, yeah, this one is maybe a little easier than the last one.
Let's have a look. Well, this is a stun into the corner.
Yeah, stun. See, he's going lower than I would go. But
yeah,
it's right in the middle.
So first blood to Wanwa, but that could have went either way that game. She's got to look at the positive side of things there. She had a good chance there, getting deep into the caroms.
Yeah, well, Wanwa made a lot of mistakes. You know, if he's going to play like that, she's going to have a chance. I mean, it looks to me like Wanwa's probably played a little bit more of this game than she has.
Oh yeah, yeah. So,
well, it looked like he was trying to keep the table open there and did not.
So let's do a quick refresh. Now the only matches in the schedule are LS3 against Interchange X on Friday night. Cobra plays Bedhead on Saturday at 7 PM. Well, the good thing about that is that first of all, I've took myself out the VP4 TV team and stuck Fast Eddie in, along with Popman and MarkShark, and I can stream that match. So I can stream that match on Saturday night.
Yeah, I like that play where she tried to pocket the 1 and carry him into the 5. Because that's, you know, if you play pool, that shot was pretty obvious.
A little force follow on. I mean, you might end up potting a 5, but I think the force follows onto the 3 ball, but it's a draw.
I would have shot the 1. I would have cut the 1 in the corner and ran into the 5 because that was natural. And you pick up more points. Well, she's funny now.
Oh,
Not funny, haha. I
While,
think she can go past the side
while
pocket easily.
I've got your attention, Steve, before I forget, because it's just come into my head, I don't know whether LS3's still there and who else was it was asking earlier on. The guys are asking for the 8-ball US, which is on tonight. Well, it's actually on. It was on earlier. It's still at its summertime start time, which in GMT time is actually 6 p.m. Sorry, 7 p.m. But I think the guys would rather have it back at its time that it was previously, which was 8 p.m. So they're requesting for that time to be delayed by an hour on 8-ball US on a Wednesday night. The double knockout, it's called, I believe. And RedbaK hasn't been around to ask him to do it. So,
yeah, well, the best thing is either message support or send an email.
I think it was LS3 that was asking about it.
VP4. Yeah, as long as enough of the people that play in it regularly want it. Because,
well, Larry's there. He wants it. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, this is a nice little construction of points here for Silvia. Can she keep them?
Well, you just don't want to do anything silly, that's all. I mean...
yeah, there will come a point where she might have to play a risky shot, and then the question is whether she's prepared to take the money and run, or to do something daft and risky, like I would do. Let's see.
Almost made it. Well, you know, as long as you know where the cue ball is going, chances of getting yourself in real trouble are pretty low.
Well, this is one where I'm always going to the shot rail and kicking in behind the 5, because that's the safest shot to get the 5 ball out into play rather than running it in near the pocket. I mean, okay, if you can keep it in play and it's still good, fine, but I think where the 3 ball was, it was far easier to get in behind that 5 and send it out in towards the 3.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, the run
really
ends,
on a roll there.
But it's a nice little run of 40.
Well, if you can do that every time you get to the table, you'll be in fairly good shape against most players.
Oh yeah, I mean, there are days we've played this game where you go in, you get a run of 50, 60 odd, and then before you know it, you're back at the table, another run of 30 odd, and you're at 90 in 2 visits, and well into the caroms, and the match is over in 20 minutes. So one was first target, and this is the thing I always keep talking about. Whenever you come to the table, your first target is the deficit. That's the target. You have to get there. So you're starting from scratch once you get in level terms. I was just laughing. I was laughing out loud today when I read was it on Facebook? There was a picture of Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And what's this thing that Tiger Woods has been awarded for bringing the best publicity to the PGA Tour or something?
Oh, well, the tour started this at one point because kind of another reaction to the LIV.
Yeah.
Because the players, I know Mickelson was one of those complaining about not having any media rights. So they started this thing where it was initially 40 million. I don't know what it is now, that went into a pool, and they awarded to people based on their media presence.
Yeah, well, Tiger Woods has got a bucket load, and he's only been in 3 tournaments or something last year. Where's this cue ball going?
But I can understand it because, like Mickelson, that famous shot he hit on number 13 out of the pine straw when he won the Masters the first time. He won $1.5 million for winning that Masters.
Yeah.
The PGA Tour wants $3 million for a single use of that video, like if you're going to use it in an advertisement.
Mm.
So, and Phil Mickelson gets 0 of that. So you know, I mean, it's one thing if you're playing a major sport and you've signed a $200 million contract and baseball holds your media rights, but these tour players, they don't get any salary. They're not guaranteed anything. And the PGA Tour holds all the media rights. So that was one of those issues with, and you know, the tour has gone to reacting to what Liv does, and you know, they've had to, but that was why there's that media pool now.
Yeah, but the thing is somebody like Phil Mickelson concerned that is he concerned for himself, or is he concerned for a lot of other golfers that are nowhere near in his class and who struggle to get into the top 25 of a tournament on a weekly basis? You know?
This just has to do with the fact that you don't own your own media rights, but you're not really a employee under contract.
No.
The tour gives you nothing. So the media rights are a big deal. I mean, everybody's seen what's happened with social media, and you got people that are making millions and millions of dollars doing nothing but dancing around on TikTok. So the rights to media are important for people that are famous.
Oh dear.
And watch out. Oh dear. Boy. So, I mean, that's what it's about. It's purely that, or at least that aspect of it. It was purely about media rights. And I agree with Mickelson that, you know, why would you have no media rights when you aren't a contracted employee? You have no guarantees of anything, that the tour should control your media rights. You know, golf's a little bit unusual compared to other sports. Most sports, you've signed some contract, and as part of that, you know, you're getting paid guaranteed, but you're getting, you know, you're giving up things like media rights. Rights are a big deal. I know this one fantasy author, Brandon Sanderson, who you guys have never ever probably heard of.
No.
But he teaches at University of Utah, I think it is. He sold his media rights for his books that he'd written for $240 million.
Yeah.
Think about that.
And what was his books about? Anything interesting?
They're fantasy books.
Ah, right.
And you know, it's not. You know, I'm sure it's not a lump sum or anything. That's a total payout. But I'm sure if it was $240 million,
I'm sure
total payout, that the initial sum was probably pretty healthy.
Yeah.
You think about that. Here's some guy teaching college writing fantasy books, and for his rights to his stuff, $240 million. That's a big number.
Yeah, that'll pay for a few holidays, a few houses, a few cars.
I don't know. Media rights are huge, and you know, people that are more in that business understand that. The average person who hasn't been exposed to it doesn't realize, you know, how much value those things have. Might kind of think it's kind of funny that someone will complain about that, but it's a huge thing. I mean, how much money do you think Tiger's made on tour versus outside of it with his image and his endorsements and, you know, who he is? I guarantee you outside of it's been way more than the PGA Tour.
Bucket loads.
Now, the thing is he's been able, you know, he can do those things because the tour doesn't own things outside of golf, but any video or anything that Tiger Woods did when he was playing on tour is owned by the tour. And Tiger gets zero of that. Well, Wanwa is slowly getting back into this game, and Silvia needs to make something happen here.
Well, they're running 30 ends, but Silvia's 32 in the lead and a chance to build on that. So the next target is 90. Got to get there. If she can get to 90 and get into these caroms, now that's looks okay.
That's pretty good there, because I think she can play this shot. It's a natural to make the ball and run into the one. Just like that. That was a beauty.
You know, this is
I
fine.
think she's going to shoot the one ball here.
Yeah, get
and
the
leave
one
an
ball.
easy carom from the 5 to the 3.
Or if she finishes, well, I don't think she's going to go forward, but she could go forward. She's gone square. See, that is not ideal. You know, you're running too high an angle here.
No, I agree. That wasn't
Yeah.
ideal, and it's going to cause her to miss this.
Yeah.
Oh, almost got on the return. That's too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she'd have been better. See, even that simple shot, I still think she'd been better going forward and come lower on the 1. And that way it's a safer shot and a shallower angle going up table for the carom.
She could have just done a soft draw and kind of killed the cue ball and had a better angle, where she didn't have to go forward or do anything. Just kind of, you know, I mean, she hit that pretty firm and let the cue ball go way over.
I think that's a big missed opportunity there, because the table was sitting not too bad. It's just the manoeuvring of the cue ball that was a problem.
Well, some of that just may be inexperience playing Cowboy, or it could have been execution error. You know, you don't know what she's thinking about when she hits the shot.
But I know that one was thinking, well, you know, this is a bit of a bonus getting back to the table as soon as, and now he's got the chance to build on it and eat into the deficit.
He's got 3 balls down here. Now, see that's I don't like that kind of shot, because now all of a sudden you just spread the balls all out. You don't know where the cue ball's going. And,
well, the one thing's for certain, though, is he's potting the 3, and if he checks this cue ball up to stay above the 5, he's got a 5 to the 3 to the 1 choice. You see, he's running away loose that way. You know, that to me, I don't like that shot, because again, I'm still all for staying top side of this 5, or bottom side as we look.
It's just kind of stubbish there, where he's just turning the cue ball loose, and that's, you know.
And now he's got to play.
He's going to shoot one of these draw shots, or here we go again with a draw shot, which, you know, I don't particularly like this shot either.
Well, now, the shot to play would be the cut and the 1 down the table to get it in amongst the 5 and 3, because the 1 ball's going to spot this end. So,
do we have a points made per turn stat on Cowboy?
Yes, I think we do. Yeah,
because I would think that would be a pretty good indication of how well you play this game. Because, you know, the better you are at playing position and playing shots that are you know, going to give you consistent results, the higher your average point run is going to be.
Well, if you look at the tournament stats, Cowboy and what was the one I was? Yeah, per turn. The per turn for the tournament, Mr. Bill's the highest. He's 4.7. One Pocket Slim is 4.2. Tommy's 3.8. Crazy Cow is 3.5.
Well, that's not a points per turn. That's a shots per turn. In other words, you've successfully which is probably also pretty relevant, though.
Larry's, mind you, I think everybody there's just played 1 match anyway.
Yeah.
Where am I? I'm at 3.1. Excuse me, 3.1. So I'm way short. And Brainfill Out, if you look at Brainfill Out, he's only 2.2. Yet he beat me 3-2. Right. Back to the game, because this is getting to
well, Silvia is
critical stage.
She's looking like she's going to get to the carom stage first.
Nope, that's too wide.
See, like, I would have think that taking more ball and going to the long rail,
kicking it. Yeah.
Then you got a line where if you come up a little short and you hit the end rail, you're still going to hit the ball.
Yeah, I would still probably spin it with a bit of right English as well, as soon as it hits the long rail.
Oh no, the English to help open it up. See, I don't like that thin shot. I mean, I think that was the wrong shot there. You know, this is just like pool. It's what shot gives you the best percentage chance of executing.
Mm.
And sometimes that thin shot's a good shot. I don't think it was in that case. I don't think a billiards player would have shot it that way. Well, this is interesting. He's not in a wonderful spot here.
No, this is not good. I mean, you can go from the 3 to the 5, but you've got to hit it.
Yeah, I would pot the 3 in the corner pocket and run at the 5. I mean, that angle is not bad for that. I mean, this is pretty natural. You know, you don't even have to put English on this. You don't want, just hit this a little bit of speed and top, and it's going to loop out, and you're going to get it. He's going to go directly to it, or try to. So I would have just shot the 3 ball, taken more of it.
Well, Silvia can pot the 1 ball because the 1 ball's on its spot, and from ball in hand to the kitchen, you can play the 1 ball. She can pot it, get it back on its spot. Now, what's she doing? She's trying to bring the 5 into play.
I'm not quite sure what she's doing here.
And she's nowhere near it, I'm afraid. Now, with ball in hand, you've got to make that carom to the 5. That is a bad miss.
Yeah.
With ball in hand.
You put it at a little different angle where you could just roll the ball.
Well, yeah, that's it. You put it to a shot where you just cannot miss the 5 ball with the carom with ball in hand. Good evening to semi-pro.
Yeah, I just, you know, I don't play this game, so I don't always have the right perspective on things, but you know, I recognize a lot of what's going to be easier to execute.
Well, here's the Silvia doing the draw shot this time, and this will be good. I don't know whether she can draw from the 3 to the 5, but she's certainly going to get the 5 out of there.
Yeah, well, I'd be thinking about where this 5 ball is going to end up.
Now, if it goes around the corner, it's not
so this
too
is a
bad.
good opportunity here to play off the 1 into the 5. You just got to not put it in the pocket.
Well, it's heading towards it.
And she's kept the balls kind of together, although the angle is not wonderful.
No, I don't like where the 5's sitting at the moment.
It would be better for her if it's closer to the long rail.
I don't play any Q sports anymore, lad. I used to play snooker. But I started off on the pub table at pool and moved on to snooker. But
that was a nice little shot she just played there.
Haven't played snooker for about 20 years.
Yeah, that wasn't though. Yeah, that shot. That's just a super difficult shot to hit it that thin, and the cue ball is getting left English on it. It's going to open up. That was really a hard shot.
Well, wanwa is under a bit of pressure to deliver here. He's desperate to get to 90.
Well, when you get into this carom phase, you know, if you can run 3s, 4s, 5s, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, when you're running 1s, that's not good enough.
Well, at the moment, Silvia is still favourite in this rack, provided that whenever she gets back to the table, she's got a good enough layout where she can make something of it and get a chunk out of that target that she needs. Because she's well within range of squaring this match-up, no doubt about that.
You know, that could have been a scratch there.
Well, he's trying to slam this one in and bump into the rail here. Oh, I thought he was
just trying to set up.
He was on a pot. That's what I'm forgetting.
I'm not sure how good a setup this is. This is going to be the go forward shot.
I'm not sure my eyes are open. I'm actually watching this. I just realised he was in a pot.
Well, it looked like he was playing for that shot he just shot. I don't know why. I just don't like that shot. Playing for that shot because it's too easy to get funny on him.
Well, I would be taking the risk here. I'd be playing the big slam off the 5 or off the 3 onto the 1 and taking the risk. Especially if I've got a 30 or 40 point lead. There's the 3 ball going. And that would probably happen to me as well.
Yeah, that was a tough shot there. I would have been looking to do something else. I wouldn't have wanted to shoot that shot at that angle. Well, Wanwa's got some choices here. If he wants to hit this 3 ball and try to pocket it, he certainly can run into the 1.
Yeah, we don't know, Dwight. As I said, he wasn't in Discord, but hang on a little second, just a sec to have a quick look. I'm just going to open up the VP4 room for a sec. And looking in the VP4 lobby, he's not there. Where are we? I'm trying to find the VP4 commentator booth again. Right, so I've lost Steve. What did I do there?
I'm still here.
Oh, you're still there? I thought I'd lost you.
Well, he's gonna get the 3 ball and a carom, and yeah, Wanwa is on a roll here. Silvia better capitalize pretty soon, or she's going to be in danger of losing this game too. Well, that wasn't so wonderful.
Well, it's the old draw again. This needs to bounce. Well, we cut into the side. Now, let's look at the angle off that 5 ball. I'd be gently cutting this.
That 5 ball. I wouldn't be drawing it like this.
He put inside English to try and get up. He's ended up dead straight. Dead straight.
That is not where you want to be.
He didn't need the English on it, I don't think.
Well, you can play a shot off the 1 to the 3. He's not doing that. I would have played off the 1 to the end rail and into the 3.
Now, this is a shot that's very...
This shot's easy. You just got to make sure you don't pocket the 1.
Yeah, that's the only worry you've got with this. I mean, she's actually quite close to the rail as well.
Yeah.
The one other thing is that this 1 ball wants to head up in the direction of the 5 ball.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you've got to jack it past. So you go to side rail and then hit it. That'll do.
Play that on the thin side.
So now the 3-1 is on, and if she can thin this and actually hit that 1 full in the face, the 1's heading up again in the general direction of the 5, which would line up the next one.
It's hard to hit this too thin.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you couldn't, but it's hard to.
Now, that's not the best of positions. Now let's have a look at it. See, I'd be overcutting the 3 and running the cue ball here to the 1 or the 5. This is what I call my 2-in-1 shot. Overcut the 3 because then if you miss the 1, you've got a chance of hitting the 5. And
I agree. I like that shot. I mean, that 1 and 5 are a little bit lined up more than you'd like them. You'd like them offset, so.
Yeah. He's going inside. Or she is anyway, I should say. But it worked. But now the 5 ball's in trouble.
Well,
how much more do you want to try and milk out of this visit, Silvia? Because, you've got 3.
I like what she's doing. She's going to thin the 1 and go to the 3. Well, she didn't open it up enough. Needed some more English on that. But I like that shot. That was the right shot, I think. All right. Well, I mean, she made what, 3 that time?
Yeah, and Wanwa can't use the 5 unless he just wants to bank it up the table because he can't do anything else. If he did, he would pot it. So
yeah, I think ideally you want to get at least 3 when you get to a visit for this carom phase, because especially in this situation, because she needs to extend her lead. Because it doesn't look to me like too many people are going to like run out through the carom phase.
Yeah, there's Well, there's certainly a few in this tournament that are well capable of doing it and have done it more often than not. But Silvia just needs to keep chipping away, given the chance.
Yeah, because chances are if she can get up to 99 or 100, when Wanwa is still at 91 to 92, then she's going to win.
Here we go. He can't play the draw this time because he's on 88. Well,
he could pot the one and try to get a carom too.
Yep, that's a regularly played shot at this stage in the game.
It's sitting on a pretty good line to do 1 to the 3 ball. He's not going to do that. He's just going to set a carom up.
Yeah, well, the 1 ball spots this end, so it's not a bad choice.
Yep, and Silvia's advantage is rapidly disappearing. He's going to have all 3 balls down at this end, which is a huge advantage.
Oh,
dear. And he missed the duck.
Well, there's a big miss.
Boy.
Well, Silvia's got to be...
she was well set up.
She's got to make the most of this. I mean, this first one, it's got to have enough pace to get the one up the table. She's got to watch she doesn't bank this one.
I would just thin the 3 ball here and hit the 1. Because then you keep all 3 balls down here.
Well, she's determined to go up table. Catch it. No, she's missed it and she's teed it up, I think, for wanwa.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that was a bad miss.
That's brutal. Yeah, I like thinning the 3 ball a lot better. Well, I'm not sure that was any good. Yeah, that's fine. He's got 2 balls. He can run it here.
Well, this 1 ball is going to come back over to the 5. The 1 ball's coming back over to the 5.
Why isn't he playing off the 5?
Because he's bringing the 1 round to the 5, but he hasn't really hit it hard enough. He needed to hit that a bit harder, but the danger, of course, was the pace he was going to hit the 3 ball when he collided with the 3, because he was in danger of sending it in the pocket. So he's got to go 1 ball rail and kick into the 5.
Yeah, this is an easy shot. 1 rail 5.
Now, even sometimes, let's have a look. Sometimes, see, you don't need any English on that, I don't think. I think you just pick the thickness of the hitting the 1 ball and you'll get the line to the 5.
What is it? Here we go with these crazy draw shots again.
Yeah, that's his bailout shot.
Yeah, I can see there's times when you're going to have to shoot it, but he had a lot of choices there. And now he's separated the balls, and it's going to start getting tougher.
No, it's going to be the draw shot again to the 1. He's looking at other options, but he's going to fall back in the old draw to the rail, kick the 1.
Boy.
Oh no, he's looking at the 1. I'm still convinced he was going to. He's sending the 1 to the rail and trying to draw to the. It looks like it might be the 5. Yeah. See, he's played those shots that often that he's well used to picking a line on them.
Yeah, he's playing them well. I don't think that's the easiest way to do this, but he's played them well, so you got to give him credit for that.
Well, the run goes to 4. He's on 93, only 2 behind.
Well, Silvia's really missed a golden opportunity here. I mean, because now they're all close together.
Oh, the hot girls have arrived.
Let's dink the 3 ball into the 5. Why is he unhappy? These balls are sitting good, right?
This is a tiny feather edge in the 3, gentle as you want. Nudge into the, well, he's just gone.
You've got all the balls down here together. I mean, that's perfect. And now he can do a little run forward shot on the 3 ball.
Well, you see,
keep it down here too. Bring the 3 ball over by the 5
exactly. ball. Exactly. I'd be hitting this a wee bit firmer just to get it.
I don't know why he was shaking his cue like he was unhappy where he was. I'm thinking, man, this looks perfect. He hit a little hard.
He wants to hit the 5.
He's good. Yep. All right, so I mean, this is what you want to do. Is yeah, I would think. I mean, I don't play Cowboy and stuff, so but it just seems to me what you want to do is try to keep them close together and nurse them like this.
Yeah.
Oh, see that I don't get that. Why hit it that hard?
Because he had to use that pace to stunt to the 5. The only thing he got lucky on there was the fact that the 3 ball didn't leak away. The 3 ball didn't leak away. It run into the 1 and it stayed there. So he's actually got lucky there. But he could be out here.
Well, this is risky here. He's going to cut thin. You could scratch here very easily if he's going to thin cut this 1. Well, he hit it good. Get that a little thick, and next thing you know, you're in the corner pocket. Well,
and that's going to miss this time.
Go forward shot again. But, I mean, he put a pretty big run together. Now it's Silvia's going to have to do something here.
Yeah,
because
and she's not got an easy starter. That's the thing.
She kind of wasted her lead by struggling in this carom phase.
That's not going to find it.
Well, I like the idea.
Yeah.
But I think she needed to hit that 5 ball with maybe a touch more straight on. Now, depending on which way she was going to go. Now, I would thin to 3. That's just me, but I would thin to 3. I think that's pretty easy to get the line to the 5.
Well, I think thinning the 3 is too dangerous to be sending it towards the pocket.
Oh, well, if you can hit it pretty darn thin. That's the thing. There's no reason to be close to the pocket. I mean, because
what's she looking as an alternative then?
Well, I mean, you can shoot the 1 ball, but you know that the problem with the 1 ball is that the line is going to send the 1 ball at the pocket, the line you need.
Going the other way. That's going to scratch, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
I would have thinned that 3 ball every day. I mean, because the ball's going to open up some from just hitting the 3, and you can put a little English on if you need it. I mean, but
well,
this is
a dangerous scratch off the back of the 3 here. Well, she's not hitting it hard enough to do that. That's probably a wise move.
Well played there. Yeah, well played shot there.
Now, let's have a look and see. Yeah, the angle on the 3 is not good. I was looking to see whether she could play the double kiss carom off the 3 to the 5, but it's not a good line for that. Well, I mean, I suppose you can go for the old fancy 2 or 3 railer off the 1 down to the 3, try and kick in behind the 3.
You got to be careful. I mean, you've got to hit the 1 into the end rail, because otherwise you're risking.
Well, she's going the other way. This will work. That'll work. Where's the 1 ball going? No. Yeah, disaster.
Yeah, there's 6 holes on that table, and none of them are any good right now.
Now, it might not be quite a bad outcome where this is set here. Going to have to get a bit of spin in the cue ball, just a feather edge off that 5 to avoid a double kiss. He's got a double kiss there, but it actually helped him. It actually helped him. He's on 99.
Yeah, Silvia's got to feel a little sick to the stomach at this point.
Well, you look at it.
She was up so far.
Yeah, I mean, she was in a better position in this rack than she was in the last rack, but she could have won. She could have won that first one, but she's stalling at the critical time in the carom phase. That's where she's struggling a wee bit.
Well, this shot, if he's going to shoot the 1's a little risky because you can make the 3. If he's going to go 1 to 3, I'd go 1 to 5. It's safer. That 3 ball is too easy to make it. Let's see what he decides to do here. Or he could do 5 to 1. I mean, that's doable too.
Well, it looks as if
I think he's hitting his 5 too thin. Yep.
way
And
too
that
thin.
was way too thin.
But again,
All right,
he's not
Silvia.
left anything easy for Silvia. Now, I know what I'd be doing here, and this is a big, fancy, risky shot. No, I couldn't because I don't like the angle on the 1. I was going to say I'd be drawn to the rail and spinning to the 5, but the angle's nowhere near good enough. Trying to get to the 3, and I don't think it's going to catch. Well, let's put it this way. The 1 ball's in a safe position.
Well, but you got this little play from the 3 to the 5, and then the winner's sitting in the pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just what you got to decide here. I don't think you want to use any English. Just how much of the ball you're taking should determine the shot.
And that's too much.
Too much. Yeah. Now, you could have put a little inside to help check it up, but I think in that situation, it's easier not to use English and just determine the angle by how much ball you take.
Now this time Silvia's got it, getting behind it, and that gives her another chance to stun this 5 up the table, bring it back down into play and get to the 3. Well, she's not played it. She had to.
Oh, that's too bad.
She had to play the stun, as far as I'm concerned, there to get the 5 up the table, back down, and get the cue ball over to the 3. You've got to be brave. I mean, the way you're sitting now.
I think the shot here is the 3 to the 5 because I think you can hit the 3 into the rail more. It looks like he's going to go the other way.
Yeah, I like this. I like that angle off the 3 to get to the 5. I like that better.
He's going. Yeah.
This works as well. I mean, looking at both of them, they both look reasonably good.
But if you're going to go off the backside like this, I'd go to the 5 too.
Yeah, it's going to go top.
But he's high. I was talking about going the other way with some inside English and forcing the 5 into the rail. Because here you go, giving her another chance. And
let's have a look at this one.
This is a little bit better angle for backside. It's just got to be thin enough.
That's good.
Perfect.
Now, it needed to come off the rail a bit more. Now, is that 1 ball...
This is still doable.
Oh.
And she overdid it. You know, she's got to cut it a little more to make sure she doesn't make the 1 ball, and she draws it, and she draws it right past it. So it was just, you know, she didn't need to draw it that much. It's a little cut shot, and boy, that's brutal.
Well, this could end up in a bank if he's going to play the stun, and he has done.
This is this is over, I think. He's doesn't have the best angle on this, and this is not a guaranteed. I
had one.
Think he'll get this in. She's hitting us a little bit of right English, which is the right way to play it.
And it goes. So that was your best chance, Silvia. It's 2-0.
I got to take a quick break. Boy, that was a game I thought she was going to win.
Yeah, it's a long road back, but it can be done. Just ask Brainful out. He knows. I'll have another quick drink. Well, you'd think that Silvia doesn't get to the caroms first in this rack, then she's probably done for. That is top priority, to try and get into these caroms, a fair chunk of them, and she did pretty much most of that until she ended up stalling in the caroms. It's always a case that you're going to end up finding it a lot more difficult to be productive in the carom phase than you are in the, the normal phase up until 90. But you'll get days where the caroms will fall into place and everything's fine and great, and it all goes sweet. But you've got to try and produce it at the right time, and when you're 2-0 down, there's no better time to do it than now to get yourself into the match. But she's definitely not dead and buried. I mean, she's she's proved that she can mix it enough with wanwa. But one was made the mistake on 10. He's missed the one. And Silvia,
I'm sure everybody's rooting for Silvia to win a game here.
Silvia's potted the 1 and kicked the 5 to get it into play. So now she's in an open table. So Wanwa's first visit was just the 10 points. And that shot there from Silvia is not great either. That is an ugly place to spot the cue ball. So she's going to have to do a big stun to get into the 1. And cue ball running loose, trying to scratch. That's not a bad kiss with a 5 ball, and she should have an easy carom to follow. Again, just look at where the 5 spots and look at where the 1 is and look at where you want the cue ball to go. Now again, that's not a great shot. You know, because you're leaving a long force follow, and she'd a much easier carom from the 5 to the 1, and then it's end of visit. You know, I mean, that's just a basic error. In terms of leaving herself a far easier carom from the 5 to the 3 than a big long force follow at that distance. It's just those little basic, to me, obvious shots she played, the one that gives you the easier shot.
Well, you just cut this 1 ball on the side. There's a pretty good chance you're going to hit the 3 ball. Not going to do that. Going to go that way.
This might be a bit too head on, this 1 ball, I think. Let's have a look.
This doesn't look any good at all.
I think that will go. I think he can actually push that 1 through to the rail and still catch the 5.
Well, I don't.
I think.
Yeah, he can. Well, he can go to the long rail. Yeah.
Well, he can go 2 rails into the back of the 5.
Yeah, you can do that, and that's what he just did. Yeah, that was actually a pretty big ball going that way.
Well, again, the 3 balls going back on its spot. 1 was coming down the bottom end of the table. When he could have played that softer and stayed at the top end of the 3 and have.
Well, he's got a pretty natural shot. He can shoot the 1 on the side and hit the 3 here.
Yeah. But what I'm talking about there is he's letting the cue ball run further than he actually needed to. So now he's got a shot where if he pots the 1 ball to bail out, it's going in the spot at this end. It's a bit, both of the balls are a bit isolated now at either end of the table. So he has to go far enough down to get inside the kitchen.
And they're not big balls because they're away from the rails.
No, that's not bad.
Yeah, he's got a shot here. And it looks like wanwa's going to put together a pretty good run. Although he just left himself a shot that, this is the kind of shot people miss because it's a little bit of an optical illusion. It's not the worst angle, but he didn't have any trouble with it.
Well, again, this has put himself in a position where he's got at least a shot to go at.
Yeah, this isn't bad. I mean, he should be able to go 5-3.
Ooh, it's caught
out.
Some of it.
Watch out. Okay. And
now
5 ball. And
how's the line of the 5?
He's a little straight in on it, but I mean, you can do something here. He's going to back this up. That's not good. He's okay.
That's fine.
He's okay. He can.
It's just a wee bit more distance to the shot, but
yeah, I mean, he's got a good run going here. I mean, He looks like he's capable of doing some pretty big runs.
Well, the next shot now is a 3-ball and staying top side of the 3 so that you've got a shot to the 5. If you're going to pot the 5,
you can shoot the 5-ball here and roll
you go
forward a few
right
inches,
side,
and then you
and
go 5 to 3.
Yeah, you've got
all
that
you have
shot
to
to
do,
there.
all you really want to do is get past the side pocket like 2 or 3 inches, and
See,
you got a pretty easy shot.
Yeah, you see, there, what I'm talking about is one way, and you're talking about another way, and this is what players need to question themselves. You know, if I go that way, is that a good enough shot for my next one?
Well,
if I go this way,
I wouldn't have rolled quite that far past, but he's still fine.
Now this, he has to make his mind up. Does he go to the short rail to kick the 3? Because that's by far the safest shot. And now he's trying to get cute, and he ain't got it.
I thought that was a little easier if he just didn't roll quite so far. I would have rolled half that distance past the side pocket so I could hit the 5 thicker. You know, rolling to those thin shots is not the best.
Well, that's a good pot. That cue ball needs to slow up though.
Yeah.
This is
the one we're going off the end rail.
Well, this is one
go to the end rail, and she went straight to the ball.
Yeah, see, I would have also played the 2-in-1 shot there, where I'm running around to hit either. But if you've got the shot and you're comfortable with it, then you play it. But it's risky sending the cue ball towards a ball near a pocket, because anything can happen.
Well, she's not quite right on the 5 to go forward to the 1. She's just going to play this, and that was well done.
Good evening to Hawk.
I like those kind of shots. Pocket the ball and make the carom. And I like that she's not taking a lot of time to shoot. Sometimes I think that's better.
Well, I think she's typed yawn in the chat, and I think she's on her last legs a bit like I am as well. I think she.
Well, maybe she'll play better. Maybe she'll play better if she's trying to play a little faster. Because sometimes I think it's easy to think too much in this game.
Well, again, it's not a bad thing just to change your tact a little. But then again, no sooner we said that than sayonara. But at least she's kept the points.
That's just brutal. I mean, and I think that's kind of what's holding her back is just stuff like that. I mean, I'm going to blame that on you, Hugh. That was a commentator curse. She was rolling.
Yeah. And now the question is how big's the margin's going to be when she gets back to the table?
Yeah, well, Wanwa had a good inning last time. We'll see what he can do this time.
Good evening to Cobra.
Yep, Cobra's here. Hi, Cobra.
Cobra must be about to go to his bed.
Hi, Hog.
Or he's got a day off tomorrow. There's no way he's on at this time of night, at 10:20 at night. Or he's been out for an Indian meal and that's him just got home.
Well, not too many people here in the States working tomorrow. I mean, some people may work a little bit in the morning and get off at noon.
Well, we pay absolutely no attention to Thanksgiving. It means nothing to people in the UK. Just another day. Bedhead says, "Hi Cobra, we're on for Saturday." You certainly are.
And Wanwa's rolling right along here. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what he does here. Whether he tries to get into this 3-ball or... Yeah, that's what he tried. And I don't think that was a bad play because there wasn't any easy shot to get a wonderful position. He's got the thin shot here. He's got to cut it thinner than making the ball in the side pocket if he's going to play that.
Yeah, this is very thin.
You just got to wonder what a good billiard player would do there. They probably aren't picking that shot, you know. I mean, We've got a few billiard players around here. I know Yama plays billiards. I don't. Do we have any billiard players in this Cowboy tournament?
Not really. I don't think. I mean, there are a couple of that guy. Was he from Germany? A guy called, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but was it Kere? I think he won a billiard world championship in VP3. I'm sure he did. Kier. He's good.
It's a billiard player. I'm a little surprised Yama's not playing in this.
Uh-oh.
This would be a good game for him.
It's heading there, but it stayed in the table. And again,
I know some of these guys used to play 4-ball caroms some, and I haven't seen people playing 4-ball caroms much, but I thought like Fantastic Fox, he used to play 4-ball caroms, didn't he?
Well, I mean, Tornado Tam plays 4-ball caroms, not a great deal, but again, he plays Cowboy to a fair standard, and he's pretty good at the 4-ball caroms. But again, there's not a lot of players play it. It's a bit like Cowboy. It's a very niche game for the guys that want to play it on a regular basis, and there's only half a dozen of us.
There's various versions of that. There's a Korean version of it. There's a Czechoslovakian version of it, and
right. Wait a minute.
There's another version of it. There's several versions of that 4-ball caroms, and I would have added more of them, except nobody seems to want to play 4-ball caroms. If more people wanted to play it, I'd add other variations of it.
All right, we've got a little bathroom break here at the moment.
Yeah, so, I agree, Hog. That's kind of funny, but that's wanwa.
Right, so there's the matches. We've got LS3 and Interchange X on Friday at 7 p.m. That obviously clashes with Friday Night 9-ball. We've got Cobra with Bedhead. That's going to be Saturday night at 7 p.m. That clashes with the VP4 Saturday Night League night. Then we've got Mr. Bill and myself on Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. And on the same day, we've actually got 3 matches. We've got the match between Fast Eddie and Mooncake on Sunday evening at 6 o'clock, and we've got Albinario and Bankster at 7 o'clock. So my match is going to overlap probably both of them, if I can last at least an hour or two. Right, so he's back. Silvia's going to get a coffee in the meantime.
I would think he'd just stun over from the 1 to the 5. Oh, he's pot and ball. I'm sorry. That's in the boy, there wasn't a shot where he could make a ball and get a carom. I'm greedy. I like to go both ways there. Get the open table. Keep it open.
Well, he's what? I can't even count at this stage at night.
Now, I might be wrong about this because I haven't played this game, but it seems to me that if you have an open table, if you can keep it open, that's to your advantage.
Yeah, I mean, the ideal shot in Cowboy in this phase to 90 is potting a ball and caroming a ball at the same time. If you can keep that up for half an hour, you'd be laughing.
And if you're a pool player and you can move the ball well, then it's going to be fairly straightforward a lot of times to pot a ball and get a carom.
Well, this is threatening to be a run to 90 here for wanwa. He's on 6 to 8. The run is 10, but that's his main objective.
I think he just has to go forward enough here to get the carom from the 3 to the 5, and he didn't try to do that. Now that's the situation where you keep talking about getting he could have followed that ball down further and got the ball into the kitchen, although the shot he ended up with there was a really good one. Maybe that's what he was playing all along. Here's the situation where you could shoot the 5 in the side and play the carom. Of course, you know, with the table not open, it's probably not worth it. It's not such a big advantage once the table's not open.
Well, this is going to have to be a Burmish.
He played the right shot.
Held the line there. I didn't think that was a great angle, but then again, I've got one eye open and one eye's gone to bed. Now, the run is 25. He's on 83, so if he pots the one and checks the cue ball, that'd be what, 85.
Oh boy,
that's what he's actually tried there. That's what he's tried. That's why he's missed the one, because he was looking at the score and thinking, well, if I can pot the one and bump the 5, that's me on 85, and then if I've got a shot to pot the 5, that takes me to 90. That's exactly what he was thinking there. And
I agree with Hogg. Keep them tight, especially when you get into that carom phase. The tighter you can keep them, the better off you are.
Well, I think this is a big visit for Silvia in the whole context of the match.
Something happen.
And
well, and she's got the balls at opposite ends of the table, and this 5's going to spot in the middle.
Yeah, this is no good.
Well, she could consider shooting a 1 here. Yeah, she could have shot the 1 because this is you know, she got hit this pretty thin. She got away with it. All right, well.
This is not
this
great
isn't
either.
Ideal either. Yeah.
There's a long force follow in a 5-3, but I mean these you've got to just pick them spot on.
You can run this at the 3, and if you back it up too much, you get the 5, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I forgot she's on a pot. Yeah, I was thinking she was in a carom as well.
Yeah, me too.
But this is still no good.
Yeah, she went from no good to no good.
Well, the 2-1 shot around the angles off the short rail longer. She's going up and down to come to the 1. That'll work.
Yep. That's a good shot. Yeah, she just shoot this 5 ball into the 3, leave the 5 there, and then play the carom off the 3 to the 5. That's what she's going to do, and then you might get the 5 too, except she doesn't have the right angle.
Going a bit too wide of the 3.
Yeah, she needed to hold that cue ball up.
Well, I think the 3 railer to that 5 ball is not a bad shot.
You can shoot the 3 and stun the cue ball at the 5. It's not a hard hit. It's a huge ball.
Yeah. That does the trick.
That's a little bit more natural, smaller ball, but a lot more natural.
Well, the run is 24, but she's still 20 short of getting to 90.
Now, why? I don't get why she left the cue ball there. I guess, but I guess
down to the 1.
Into the 1 is bad. Yeah.
And catching it in the right side as well. Get it back on its spot. And the balls are all lined up, so now she's in prime position here.
She's cooking.
Well, she's away for this force follow again. Why is she not potting the 1?
I don't understand.
This is going to end in disaster.
Yeah, I don't understand why she didn't shoot the 1 either. Shoot the 1 and put it on the spot and get them in a line, and it's an easy carom.
Totally flummoxed this, and that's twice she's done that as well. Or was it wanwa that did it once? I mean, that 1 ball should have been back in its spot, and you stay bottom side of the 1, and you're looking at 2 shots up the table. And I think she's just thrown it away there. The run is 33, and I don't know the theory or the thinking behind it at all. It'll be interesting to find out. I mean, this is another thing where players are suckered into the point value of the ball rather than the right ball for the shot. Or the right shot to play for the next one, and potting a 5 ball gets you 5 points. Is it the best shot to get you a better choice next time round? I don't think so.
Oh boy!
And the saving grace there is wanwa's only scored 3.
Wanwa took a gift and threw it away.
Got to make this count. It's getting to the business end.
I think he looked the gift horse in the mouth.
Oh
right
yeah.
There.
Well, trying to get the That's what you always try. If you're given a snip of a chance on your first visit to the table, you're always trying to pot a ball and crom another one if you can.
Oh boy! And
just to
there
open
we
the
go,
table.
just giving it right back.
Yeah.
And I think Wanwa plays this game good enough. If you give him enough chances, he's going to win.
Yeah. Thin cutting the 3 and hoping for another hit and something here. I think that's the plan. Or is he taking the common sense approach of getting the 1 in the spot and running from the 1 to the 5 or the 3, or 5 to the 3 as well?
Yeah, it looks like he's taking the common sense
that's
approach.
exactly what Silvia should have done there 2 minutes ago, and should have been sitting pretty.
I mean, he's going to do that, and he's probably going to come out of this looking pretty good because
now
he's got his choices here. He could shoot the 3 ball.
And he's going for the. Is he going for the draw again?
The 1 and
well, if he shoots the 1, he's drawn to the 5 to get to 90. That's what he's doing. Then again, he might not be. He looks as if he's trying it though.
Oh yeah, he can't shoot the 3. He's got to shoot the 1, doesn't he? Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
He's fine.
Okay.
That takes him to 89.
And he's got an angle where I don't think. Well, he's got a funny angle because you can't pot this 5.
Yeah, just got to be gentle and thin, and he'll be there.
I don't like this shot. This is like a.
He's not right on the point, is he?
He's got to hit it. He's got to hit it on the thin side and miss the pocket. And he's managed to do that, but he missed the 1.
Got it. Too perfect.
The angle was just too funny there. I didn't like that angle because it was too easy to make the 5 ball.
Now, does Silvia want to go? No, she's gone. She's an 84, isn't she? No, wait a minute. Where is she? Yeah, she's an 89 now.
She didn't get the cue ball where she wanted.
This'll work.
She's going to do the follow. I mean, it's sitting pretty good for the follow.
No, it isn't. Oh, she's missed
not sitting good enough. And looks like she's given a. Well, you got to be a little careful here.
Not a lot to be made here with that 5 ball sitting there. Got to get it out of there. Not much room to maneuver it.
Yeah, he's gonna play. He's gonna play off the 1 to the 3 probably, but you could make that 5 like real easily. I'll tell you what I probably do here is I might. Well, that's risky too. I was looking at spinning off the back of the 3, but it's too big a chance of making the 5. Oh, he can just pot this, huh? Duh. He can just pot the 1 ball.
Yeah, because he was an 88 as well. Oh no, he was an 89. He's now on to the Carum's phase now.
Well, this is an easy carom to the 5, but you're leaving the 5 right by the pocket. If
no, I think he's got to try and squeeze the rail and the 5 ball at the same time here. That's what he's trying. And I think he can now work the 5 ball out. He can now work the 5 ball out.
This is an easy shot. Move the 5 out, and you gonna get the carom on the 3.
That'll bring it into play, and
that's a good shot.
Now things are cooking because that 5 ball has opened out from the 3, and it's an easy carom. And what more is that if you get the pace right, you're sending the 3 directly down to the 1. So this is a gentle pace to get the 3 ball in play with the 1.
You could also bring the 3 ball back up near the 5 if you want.
Yeah, I mean, whatever suits you, as long as you're setting yourself up, and that'll work.
Oh, that's very well done. You gotta love that. And nurse this one down there.
Now, I think the 3's too far below the 1 to make the carom and bank the 3 up towards the 5. I think it's too low.
Oh, I just roll this easy. Roll this easy, almost straight at the 1. With just a little cut. Cut it at like just past the first diamond. And
send the 1 ball around. What about sending the 1 ball around though?
You could.
No,
I mean,
he's going
more harder. And well, I mean, this is actually a pretty good spot. That was a pretty good shot.
That'll work because this 3 ball's heading right into the 5. But he's got to make sure he doesn't lie behind it. I think
he just doesn't want to double kiss the 1. I mean, he isn't gonna. Yeah, that's not where he wanted to be with the 3-5.
Well, I think he can punch the 3 out the way and run onto the 5. I think that's doable.
Or you just play the 2 railer back, and you got the he's going to play his draw shot. He likes a draw shot.
Went for the draw.
And
he'll do the same again.
Okay, yeah. He's
could be going to the rail and
big
coming
ball with 2 of them there. Maybe hit it with a little more speed and try to separate the 3 and 5 a touch, because he's going to be stuck on the 3 ball.
Yeah, he's going from the 3
or the 5 ball.
Yeah, 3 to the 1, but he doesn't want to bank this in, combo this in, though, so you've got to get it really thin.
Oh,
did he hit it?
That was the right shot.
Yeah.
And now he's got the little ticky shot. Now, if you do this right, you get the ticky back. Ticky 5 to 3, and then you can ticky 3 to 5 back. This is where you can nurse it when you get them like this. This is the situation. You just ticky this real easy off the 5 to the 3, and then you can go right back, the 3 to the 5. See, he didn't ticky this right. I mean,
he can still play it. But
he could still play it, but you could play that shot 4, 5, 6 times in a row. If you hit that correctly and you get that same angle back with the 3-5.
Oh, has he got it there?
Well, why did he do that?
Well, he's got it there.
No, that he should have played the 3 to the 5, not the 5 to the 3.
I was just wondering whether he'd actually made the point, but he has made the point.
Yeah, he's going to hit this 5 then and go to the 1. But he's missed a golden opportunity, and he didn't hit it too thin.
Well,
boy, that could have been a lot better.
But it's still a good enough contribution. The run is 10. He's on 99. He's 2 away.
Yeah, well,
from round 2.
I'm sure Silvia will just shoot this one in. Oh, she's going to play the carom, which, well, that's kind of a funny spot, though.
Yeah, this 5 ball.
She'll go forward into the 1 here.
Let's see where the 5 ball's going.
That's pretty easy. You don't want to make the 5.
It's on a line that's heading somewhere over in the direction of the side pocket.
Yeah, it's good speed, though. Well, she's got a choice of how she wants to go here. This is a little risky because the 5 ball's coming back into him.
Oh, she's missed it.
Yeah, she didn't hit it hard enough. I was saying you had to hit that with some speed, and the 5 ball was going to come back into him. And she left Wanwa a very easy carom here. Now, can he get on a situation where he can get on the 1?
Well, all you do is just stun into the 3 off the 5, and you've got a cut across
pretty
the 1.
Reasonable follow shot for the 1. Yeah. You don't even need to stun this, but English would be good. Yeah, and that's pretty good.
Well, this for the match for a 3-0 win.
Well, he's going to play it thin. He's got to hit this really thin. I would go forward with this. I would hit the 1 and go forward.
Yeah, punch it out of the way and just punch it and run in. But see, I don't think he's particularly. He's only comfortable with these certain shots, but he looks as if he's grabbing it. No, he's going the other way. He's trying to draw it into the other corner.
Yeah, I think going forward is easier here, but this is doable too.
And that'll work.
He's got it.
No, the tourney bracket doesn't show those things, Spud Boy.
No,
that's what we're talking about.
I still haven't fixed that.
So, well done to Wanwa. I don't know who's he lined up to play next. Let's have a quick look at the bracket.
Well, good fight by Silvia. She didn't quite get there.
Yeah, that's how it's so tough. Oh, well, Wanwa now plays... that'll be an interesting match. Acero from Japan.
And Silvia plays Spud Boy.
Well, so a long way to go in this tournament, but there are good matches to come over the next day or two. None more so than Albinario dipping his feet in the water for the first time. Fast Eddie against Mooncake. Big match though at the weekend is Cobra against Bedhead. Let's see how these two match up. That again clashes with the VP4 Saturday Night 9-Ball League, which is in week number 13 now or something like that, or week 12. And we've got LS3 and Interchange X on Friday as well. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we've got matches. We've got 5 of them. Unfortunately, I'm involved in one of them. But anyway, well done to Wanwa. Unlucky to Silvia. She had her chances. She can't say she didn't have her chances. Just another roll of the ball one way or another. She could have got in there, but got stalled in the caroms. So
yeah, she was in every game, especially the second and third.
Oh ones. Yeah, just about hanging in there and doing what Brain Fell Out did.
What do we got? We got 3 more weeks of
the league.
We've got three more weeks of league, and then we start into the playoffs.
Yeah, well, good luck to all the teams in the playoffs, because I don't think we'll be there. I think we've got to win everything between now and it. And
you got to win everything and get some help.
Yeah, I think. I think we'll run off with a wooden spoon. We'll be like Scotland at rugby. We have champions at winning the wooden spoon.
I think Omega's going to have to help you out if you're going to make it in the playoffs. You got to play perfect and hope they give you some love.
Well, that puts all the pressure on past Eddie and MarkShark and Popman, because they're up this Saturday to try and bail us out. Well, it wasn't a case of no chance here. You had every chance, Silvia. You had.
I'm looking at these league stats. Mr. Bill ran out from break 36. The next closest is Larry at 24, and then Jover. Yeah, and this is did you never go look at the stats for league, do you?
No, not really. No. I'm looking at Silvia. She's saying that she's. I felt all I did was setting him up, and he was happy with it. Well,
Silvia, I thought you played pretty good. I mean, obviously there were some things that weren't right, but I thought you actually did pretty good. It looks like Wanwa plays the game more than you do.
Yeah, he plays. I think he regularly plays in the late night. Well, late night our side of the ocean. It's about 10 o'clock at night. The Cowboy tournament's on, and he, I think, regularly plays in that. But I think that Silvia had a good chance in all 3 of those racks.
Yeah,
it was just getting the job done in those caroms. But the one thing that Wanwa did do, I think, certainly 2 of the, if not certainly in 2 of the racks, he ran like 8 or 9 or 10. To get him right in deep into the caroms, and that's the only thing that let Silvia down, was running enough caroms when she got there to put him under pressure.
Fight, Silvia. Yeah. So I thought I mean, it may have been 3-0, but he certainly didn't run you over. You were in it.
Well, let's take the positive out of it. If you're like me and you're now like Silvia and others who are on the one-loss side, let's look at it from the positive side that we've just played our poorest match, and we've got it over and done with, and everything else from there on after is going to be success. You have to have that outlook in life when you play Cowboy, because it's going to knock you down, and you're going to have great days, and then it's going to be awful. Let's just hope that those days are over and the rest of it's going to be good. So I think I might be heading for a quick coffee and watch a bit of something on the TV. Well, have a happy Thanksgiving, all you guys in the States.
Yep, thank you.
Have a leg for me, well, maybe 2, and I will bid you good night, and we'll see you again at the weekend, because I'm certainly going to be doing 1 or 2 of the matches, not mine, but 1 or 2 of them. And take care, Steve, and I'll bid you all good night. Thanks for watching, chaps. See you later.
Good night.